11 Days of Madness, and A Forest of Secrets. October 2009. Deep inside a remote forest in Oklahoma, a hunter noticed something unusual along a dirt trail. A white pickup truck, parked alone, silent, completely out of place. There were no signs of an accident. No broken windows, no blood. But what police found inside that truck made absolutely no sense. Wallets were still there, cell phones untouched. And sitting on the front seat was a bag containing $32,000 in cash. Everything of value was still inside. And in the back seat, a small dog was barely alive, starving and dehydrated. The truck wasn't stolen, nothing was taken, but the people who owned it, Bobby Jamison, Sherilynn Jamison, and their 6-year-old daughter Madyson, had vanished. No goodbye note. No signs of struggle, no witnesses. It was as if the entire family had simply disappeared. Then investigators discovered something else. Inside the truck was a digital camera. And when detectives powered it on, they found a photograph that would haunt this case forever. It was a picture of little Madyson standing on a hillside. But what disturbed investigators wasn't where she stood, it was her expression. She wasn't smiling, she wasn't playing, she looked terrified. As if she was staring at something behind the camera, something we cannot see. Before their disappearance, the Jamison family was already living in fear. Sherilynn Jamison believed their house was haunted, not metaphorically, not jokingly. She truly believed something supernatural was inside their home. She told friends she heard voices when no one else was there. Objects moved on their own, doors opened by themselves. At first, people dismissed her claims, but her husband Bobby didn't ignore them. Instead, he began to believe her. At one point, Bobby even contacted a pastor to perform an exorcism inside their home. He believed something evil was watching his family, something unseen. But perhaps the most disturbing discovery came from Sherilynn's personal belongings. Investigators found in one one-page handwritten letter. Every page filled with anger, every line filled with hatred. It was addressed to Bobby. In the letter, she called him names, accused him of bringing darkness into their lives. At one point, she referred to him as a devil seeker, not a husband, not a partner, a devil seeker. And just days after writing that letter, the family vanished. On the day they disappeared, the Jamison family's security camera recorded something deeply unsettling. The footage lasted about 1 hour. During that time, Bobby and Sherilynn were seen walking back and forth between their house and their truck, loading items, moving supplies, but something about their behavior was wrong. They didn't talk to each other, not once. No gestures, no eye contact, no conversation. They moved slowly, mechanically, almost like sleepwalkers. Investigators later described the footage as trance-like, as if both adults were functioning but not fully aware, not fully present. No one knows what they were thinking during that hour. But what they packed raised even more questions. Before disappearing, the Jamisons told friends they planned to buy land in a remote forest area. They wanted to start over, live away from neighbors, away from people, away from whatever they believed was haunting them. They brought $32,000 in cash to purchase the land. But here's the question investigators couldn't answer. If they were buying land, why leave the money inside the truck? If they were robbed, why wasn't the money taken? If they were escaping, why leave behind their phones? None of it made sense. And then police discovered something else inside Sherilynn's belongings. A book, not a novel, not a diary. A book about witchcraft. Inside were notes, symbols, strange markings. Some pages were bookmarked, some sections highlighted. Investigators began to wonder, was Sherilynn simply curious about the supernatural, or was she trying to perform rituals? For 11 days, the Jamison family remained missing. No phone signals, no sightings, no activity. Their truck sat alone in the forest. Their dog survived barely. But no one returned to claim it. Time passed. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Eventually, the case went cold, until something happened 4 years later. In 2013, a group of hunters entered a remote area of the forest about 4 kilometers from where the truck was found. That's when they noticed something unusual, a smell, strong, unmistakable. They followed it, and then they saw them. 3 sets of human remains, lying side by side, face down in the dirt. When forensic teams tested the remains, the results confirmed the worst. They belonged to the Jamison family, but even with the bodies found, the mystery only deepened. There were no clear signs of violence. No bullet wounds, no obvious trauma, no clear cause of death. Just 3 skeletons in the middle of nowhere. With no official explanation, investigators and the public began forming theories, each one darker than the last. Theory 1, they saw something they shouldn't have. The forest where the Jamisons disappeared had a reputation. Authorities believed illegal drug operations had taken place there. If the family accidentally witnessed criminal activity, they may have been silenced. But this theory has a major flaw. Why leave the money? Why leave the valuables? Criminals rarely walk away from $32,000 in cash. Theory 2, shared madness. Some psychologists proposed a condition known as shared psychosis, where 2 people reinforce each other's fears and delusions. If Sherilynn believed their home was haunted, and Bobby believed her, their fears could have spiraled out of control. They may have fled into the wilderness, convinced something was chasing them. Something supernatural, something invisible. But even this theory raises questions. Why walk 4 kilometers into rough terrain? Why keep going until there was no way back? Theory 3, lost in the wilderness. A simpler explanation suggests they left the truck to explore land and got lost. Without supplies, without navigation, they may have wandered too far, eventually collapsing from exhaustion, dehydration, or exposure. It sounds logical, but one question remains. Why abandon a perfectly working vehicle? Why leave behind everything they needed to survive? To this day, the Jamison family case remains unsolved. No confirmed cause of death, no confirmed motive, no confirmed explanation. Just fragments of evidence, a strange letter, a haunted house, security footage of 2 people moving like ghosts, and a photograph of a little girl looking terrified at something we cannot see. 3 lives lost, 1 mystery that refuses to die. Somewhere in that forest, the truth still exists, hidden, waiting. If you were the investigator on this case, what would your conclusion be? Did the Jamison family encounter criminals? Did fear drive them into madness? Or did something happen in that forest that we still don't understand? Leave your theory in the comments below. And if you enjoy exploring real-life mysteries like this one, don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be even darker.